I want to play you the first of these South Park clips and get you to react. So this one brilliantly exposes some of the Sussex's laughable...
Meghan Markle just tried to kill a South Park episode because they turned her into a vomiting chef and a raging mutant called Megzilla. All before it even aired, mind you. Which makes you wonder, is she really this thin-skinned, or is the crown slipping faster than we thought?
So let me start with you, sir. You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where? Yes, that's right, friend.
Is what we have on the inside.
Hello? Because your family like stupid, and then so are like journalists? So you hate journalists. That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family.
If Meghan thought her Netflix flop was the worst of it, she clearly forgot what South Park is capable of. Parker and Stone have been setting the gold standard for mockery since the 90s, and they don't care who you are. Royalty, celebrities, tech moguls, religious figures, it's all fair game. They've come for Tom Cruise, roasted Oprah, turned Mickey Mouse into a tyrant, and even made the Pope look ridiculous. They've never pulled punches. They've always hit hard, and they've always done it with a smirk. And now, Meghan Markle is back in their line of fire for the second time.
It's a cartoon. Cartoons and comedians have been making fun of people for,
Indeed.
forever.
Indeed. Well, look, Samantha Markle, we follow your case with interest.
Their first shot at her was the infamous Worldwide Privacy Tour episode. Now, that one practically broke the internet. The cartoon versions of Meghan and Harry begging for privacy while literally parading on a media tour? It was savage AF, but also highly accurate. But this time, the creators are going even harder. Meghan's latest round of rebranding has turned her into the perfect target. She's become the face of everything performative and fake in Hollywood, and that's exactly the kind of thing South Park exists to tear down.
Now, according to reports, Meghan Markle was, quote, upset and overwhelmed by her portrayal in a cartoon.
And the shirkers, the heavy lifters, and the grifters. The Prince and Princess of Wales saluted Welsh Guards yesterday at St David's Day Parade.
We see they've largely shaped social perception by paying PR, which includes a whole host of journalists. But seemingly they only like what the journalists say when...
What's making things even worse for Meghan is that she seems to be taking it all personally again. Rumors say she's furious about what's coming. But here's the thing. South Park doesn't just ignore backlash, they feed on it. The more outrage they stir up, the sharper they get. That's the whole point. Meghan can assemble PR teams, call lawyers, or write long essays about tone and misogyny. None of that's going to stop Trey and Matt. They're not afraid of celebrity tantrums or legal threats. If anything, that just guarantees more airtime.
And Harry and Meghan, well, they were treated like the prince and princess of me that they deserve to be. Here's just a little taste.
Honestly, appreciate it, because being on South Park is like Weird Al wanting to do a parody of one of your songs. Here's where it gets messy. According to leaks, South Park's upcoming season takes direct aim at Meghan Markle and her failed Netflix project. In the episode, the Meghan character hosts a cooking show, clearly spoofing "With love, Meghan," and things spiral out of control fast. She prepares one of her signature organic, healing, spiritually infused dishes. Think kale, quinoa, maybe some turmeric foam, and a side of moral superiority. But instead of inspiring joy and wellness, it literally poisons everyone.
Well, people, this attention is so hard.
Oh, that's awesome. It continues with the appropriate skewering of them running around the world saying, please don't look.
We're talking full-on disaster. Pretty much every adult in South Park eats her food and ends up violently ill. It's absurd, it's crude, and it's exactly what South Park does best. Meghan's brand of carefully curated vulnerability becomes the butt of the joke. Her healing journey ends in projectile vomit. Her empowerment recipes become biological weapons, and her credibility completely flushed.
We want privacy! We want privacy! It's the worldwide privacy tour! Come on, want privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy!
Here's the genius of South Park. They take real events, real public perception, and crank it up just enough to expose the absurdity. Meghan's show was mocked for being empty, overly self-serious, and weirdly disconnected from reality.
Being played out, it's like a soap opera, isn't it? That something out of an EastEnders script. And Harry and Meghan have made an awful lot of money and an awful lot of noise over the last couple of years.
The monarchy and say, here are the fault lines, and do it clumsily.
Would be making a lot less money if they weren't the Duke and Duchess of Sussex,
they are.
which goes on every statement they ever make.
I just want to...
This episode doesn't invent criticism, it exaggerates what people are already saying. And it's not just funny, it's brutal, because it holds a mirror up to the entire act and the reflection is not flattering.
Stating very funny, and it made Harry and Meghan a laughing stock around the world. And not just in the English-speaking parts of it, the Spanish one as well, and in France and in...
When Meghan got word of what South Park was cooking up, it wasn't just a mild eye roll or a sarcastic tweet. She reportedly went full Hollywood meltdown. According to people close to the situation, who always seem to pop up exactly when she's mad, Meghan was given an early heads up about the episode thanks to her network of insider contacts. It's not really surprising. She's made it a habit to stay ahead of bad press even before it hits. But this time, the leak didn't help her, it broke her.
Well, I'm sure that's certainly not the look that they were going for. And look, South Park is known for satire and for mocking people. No one is safe. This isn't the first time they've done an episode.
The moment she found out about the parody episode, the one where her cooking show poisons the entire town, she allegedly went into panic mode. Not laugh it off panic, we're talking a high-level urgent phone call frenzy complete with lawyers, PR managers, crisis consultants, and probably somebody burning sage in the background for emotional balance. Sources say she wasn't just angry, she was livid, the kind of furious where everything feels like a personal attack even if it's clearly satire. But it didn't stop at outrage. She reportedly began looking into legal options immediately. She's trying to stop the episode altogether. That's the goal. Pull the emergency brakes, scrub the broadcast, and pretend it never happened. The legal argument, something about defamation, emotional distress, misuse of image, pretty standard stuff. But here's the kicker. South Park is protected under satire laws. And Trey and Matt know exactly how far they can push it. They've made a career out of dancing on that legal line, and they've never lost to anyone, not even Scientology. So if Meghan thinks that she's gonna scare him off with a cease and desist, she might be in for a rude awakening. Because the last time someone tried that, South Park responded with an entire musical number about censorship.
The show's creators were seemingly unfazed by reports of a possible lawsuit, a move that Meghan and Harry now deny. Now, according to a new poll, the couple's approval in the U.S. Is somehow even lower than before. It sank lower after the episode.
As if being the butt of a food poisoning joke wasn't bad enough, she's got another nightmare coming. There's reportedly another episode in the works, and it's even more brutal. South Park is turning her into a literal monster. Not just a diva or a whiny celebrity, a giant raging kaiju-style creature nicknamed Megzilla. She apparently gets zapped by a space ray during a Blue Origin type flight and crashes back to Earth as a massive mutant, roaring and smashing everything in sight with her soy latte in one hand and a victim narrative in the other. The whole thing is a direct nod to one of South Park's most savage early parodies, Mecha Streisand. Now, back then they turned Barbara Streisand into a robotic monster because she was taking herself too seriously. And now, Meghan Markle is getting the exact same treatment. That's how far she's fallen in the eyes of public satire. It's not just a roast, it's cultural demolition, and honestly, it's a little poetic. The woman who built her image around grace, privacy, and spiritual wellness is now being portrayed as a screaming mutant stomping through Hollywood in a ball of rage.
Away to Oprah Winfrey for what seemed like 3,000 hours. And I simply observed that I wouldn't believe Meghan Markle if she read the weather report. I think that's really aged well, that claim, because I wouldn't. I don't believe a word either of them say about any Park mockery of them, which really highlighted all their hypocrisies.
Word is, Meghan is more scared of this episode than the cooking one. Not because of the monster stuff, I mean that's obviously ridiculous, but because of the nickname Megzilla. That's the part that's got her spiraling. She's reportedly terrified that it's going to go viral on social media, and she's not wrong. The internet lives for stuff like this. If that name catches on, it could follow her forever. Memes, GIFs, headlines, it's gonna be everywhere. And that is a disaster for somebody trying to rebrand as a calm, loving, soft-spoken family influencer. You can't really sell a lifestyle cookbook with a Godzilla parody breathing down your neck. This isn't just South Park randomly picking on Meghan for laughs. They're making a much bigger point. To them, Meghan has become the perfect symbol of everything wrong with modern Hollywood. It's not even about her personality anymore. It's about what she represents. The overproduction of victimhood, the obsession with image, the corporate rush to turn personal pain into marketable content. Meghan is the face of that machine, whether she realizes it or not. She turns her trauma into a brand, her privacy into a pitch, and her marriage into a Netflix miniseries. And that's exactly the kind of thing that South Park loves to drag into the light. Meghan's entire media empire looks like a case study in fake empowerment. She talks about being silenced, but never stops talking. She claims to want healing but signs deals with giant streaming companies. She wants peace but sues over cartoons. It's the contradiction that makes it funny and sad and ultimately perfect for satire. South Park isn't interested in being polite or respectful about any of this. They're not trying to balance both sides. They're pointing at the absurdity of it all and going, are you guys seeing this too?
Ratings now fallen below Prince Andrew's in America. I mean, how unpopular do you have to be less popular than him? So it's pretty...
Behind closed doors, Netflix is sweating bullets, and honestly, who can blame them right now? They poured money, time, and a mountain of PR into With Love Meghan, hoping it would give them a safe, warm, feel-good brand face. Instead, they got dragged into a never-ending circus. The ratings tanked, the public rolled their eyes, and even Meghan's own fan base didn't stick around. The show was supposed to help her bounce back from all the chaos. Instead, it became the latest item on a growing list of Meghan-branded disasters. And then, just when the dust was starting to settle, South Park comes in swinging with another brutal parody, and Netflix is caught right in the middle of it. This isn't just some throwaway joke about Meghan. South Park is ripping into the entire project, mocking the concept, the content, and the platform that gave it a green light. For a company that's been quietly trying to pull away from Meghan's controversies, this is a nightmare. They really don't want her name trending again, not like this. They definitely didn't want their original content turned into vomit-fueled punchlines on a show known for blowing things up in the most savage way possible.
Ratings now fallen below Prince Andrew's in America. I mean, how unpopular do you have to be less popular than him? So it's pretty...
This whole South Park meltdown isn't Meghan's first rodeo. When she feels mocked, criticized, or even slightly embarrassed, her first move is rarely a shrug. It's usually a lawsuit, or the threat of one. She's been down this road before, and the pattern's really hard to ignore. After the Worldwide Privacy Tour episode aired last year, mocking her and Prince Harry's media contradictions, her team didn't just brush it off. Reports say they seriously considered legal action. At one point, there were rumors that her lawyers were exploring defamation claims against the cartoon. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? Let us know in the comments down below.